Hello, I'm Bill Hardiman, State Senator from the 29th District. My district covers all of Grand Rapids, Kentwood, Cascade, Lowell, Virgins, and Groton Townships. And I'm very pleased to have you join us today once again for From Capital to Community. We'd like to talk about things that are very important, not only across the state, but in our own very own community, and we're going to do that once again today. I have a special guest with me. This is his second time on, and it's Mr. David Adams. He's president and CEO of the Michigan Credit Union League, and we're just pleased to have you back with us today, David. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. It's great to be on the show.
Great to have you back, and I think we started off this program with a great show you were on, and obviously financial issues are always important, but they're certainly important in today's economy, and we're pleased to have you back. Now, Dave, for those who are watching, they may be unfamiliar with credit unions and what they do, so why don't you briefly just kind of give us an overview and explain maybe the different financial institutions.
I'd love to. I'm CEO of the Michigan Credit Union League. That's the trade association for Michigan's 350 credit unions. And about 40% of the population in Michigan belong to a credit union. So those folks who are members of credit unions, they understand what they are, but other people may not. Credit unions are like banks, except for they're not-for-profit cooperatives. That means that the credit union is owned by the depositors. And because they are not-for-profit, meaning they have no outside shareholders, they typically can give a little bit better deal on rates and fees, and are very focused on service as opposed to profit. So they're in the marketplace competing alongside banks and insurance companies and other providers, but they fill an important niche, providing the services the way they do at sometimes a little bit better value.
Well, thanks, Dave. And so 40% of Michigan residents
Right.
belong to a credit union. That's higher than I thought. That's very high.
Yeah, we lead the nation. Nationwide, about a third of the population belong to credit unions. In Michigan, it's a little bit higher. We're 42%. But we're always wanting to let the 60% know of the benefits of credit unions. There's a lot of competition in financial services, and in an economy like this one, there's a heightened awareness about the differences between financial institutions. And I think what people are really looking for, whether it's from a credit union or a bank or another provider, they're looking for an institution they can trust and find value.
Well, absolutely, and we're all looking for that. I think there are obviously some banks are doing well, some have had some problems of late, but it's important to, as you say, find an institution that you can trust that's going to provide value, because we're all looking for that. Dave, the state is struggling economically, the nation is, and some of these struggles have caused problems for many banks and other lenders. Credit unions have remained well capitalized. Can you talk to us about that a little bit?
Sure. Well, the good news, Senator, as you know, all depository institutions in Michigan are federally insured. So the issue of trusting the safety of your deposits, whether they're in a bank or a credit union, that shouldn't be an issue at all. But trust goes deeper than knowing that your money is safe. It relates also to the type of help that you're going to get when you go to apply for a loan, whether it be a mortgage loan or an auto loan. You want to be sure that the representatives at the financial institution, in this case credit unions, are providing you with the best advice and best counsel to make sure that you're not borrowing more than you should, to make sure that you're saving properly and structuring your loans and savings properly. So that's something that credit unions take great pride in. This is a tough economy, and people are looking for bright spots. They're looking for something to be optimistic and positive about. And credit unions have been able to avoid a lot of the problems that other providers have gotten into because they are conservative in the way that they approach their business, and they're focused on what's best for their members as opposed to what's best perhaps from a for-profit standpoint.
Well, Dave, in the past, I have sat in a bank board, and as one of the board of directors, we felt that fiduciary responsibility to try to handle the money in a conservative way and very appropriately. But I also understand that many banks have not been able to collect on the loans. And is there a kind of an average of those loans that you've not been able to collect on versus other institutions? I'm just wondering how that's played out in the market as a whole.
Credit unions are being impacted by the economy as well. All businesses and certainly all financial institutions are affected by this economy. What that means is the delinquency rate, the percentage of loans that are delinquent or not paying has gone up. The percentage of loans that are having to be charged off because they're not collectible have gone up for credit unions as well as others. But I think the reason that credit unions have been able to escape a lot of the problems that the other institutions have run into is it's the way that they invest their money, the way they diversify in terms of the types of loans they make. Credit unions tend to make lots of small loans as opposed to a few large ones. They don't invest typically in investments that place the assets at risk. And so, credit unions are out there doing a lot of the same things for consumers, but they tend to do it in a way that is more conservative. And conservatism is kind of a badge of honor these days, because if you weather the storm, you're in a position to lend and continue serving your communities and your customers or members. Credit unions have been able to do that.
We also know that, along with banks and many other lending institutions, our American automakers have also experienced some real problems. You have a program called Invest in America, and can you explain that? How did this relationship with automakers come about, and what are the goals of this partnership?
I'd love to. We're all very concerned in Michigan about our economy. We're concerned about the auto industry. And because we are so dependent on manufacturing and the success of the big three, there's a lot at stake for all of us to see what we can do to help. And by the way, what we as consumers can do is we can think a bit more about the decisions we make. Buying products and services from companies who provide jobs in our communities, in our state, and in our nation, that makes a big difference. So what Invest in America is the credit union community came together through via an organization that I run called Q Corp. We negotiated contracts with GM and Chrysler for exclusive credit union member discounts. So if you're a credit union member and you're thinking about buying a new car or truck and you're not sure if you can afford it, this credit union member discount is available where you can save an additional $1,000 or more on the purchase of that car or truck and get a very low rate from the credit union at the same time. So what we've done is we've negotiated these credit union member discounts, thousands of dollars off the purchase price, in addition to all the great incentives that are out there. And we're getting 7,800 credit unions nationwide to promote the concept of Invest in America. Meaning if you're a credit union member anywhere in the country, we're encouraging you to buy domestic. Buy one of the products, one of these great products of the big three, and finance it with one of the lowest interest rates around via your credit union, which, by the way, credit unions are in a position to do this because they have hundreds of billions of dollars available to lend. Why? Going back to our earlier discussion, because credit unions have been able to position themselves to do that.
Well, Dave, you mentioned earlier that consumers are seeking value, and we want to invest in America. Some will look at a certain product and think, well, maybe this is the best investment, but does it give me the best value for my dollar? So what you're doing is you're providing a lower rate, and the auto industry is providing a discount so that there's greater value as well. And I think that's good. So how successful has the Invest in America program been? Are both automakers and credit unions seeing the results?
We're off to a phenomenal start. GM and Chrysler, we launched this in a pilot mode in a few states in December, and very quickly they were very pleased with the results, and so they decided to go national January 6th. In the month of January, we were able to help get 25,000 cars and trucks sold via this credit union member discount program in the U.S., 25,000 vehicles. So we're on track, we believe, to help GM and Chrysler